Welcome back to BrightBoundX. In part 1, we uncovered the forgotten history of your jaw, how modern diets, soft foods, and the comforts of civilization shrank our faces and threw our teeth into chaos. But today, we go one step further. We ask, can we fix it? Can we prevent the next generation from needing braces, surgery, and metal in their mouths? The answer might surprise you. The orthodontic battlefield. Walk into any modern orthodontic clinic and you'll see the same tools of war: braces, retainers, expanders, headgear. These are the modern weapons used to fight the side effects of evolution, or rather, the side effects of modern convenience. And they're everywhere. Globally, the orthodontics industry is worth billions. In the US alone, over 4 million children wear braces at any given time. Some even start as early as 7 years old, before all their adult teeth have come in. So, is it working? The short answer is yes. Braces can effectively straighten teeth. Expanders can widen dental arches. Jaw surgeries can realign the bite. But here's the catch. We're treating the symptoms, not the cause. We're not fixing the evolutionary mismatch between teeth and jaw, we're just trying to contain it. Can we prevent crooked teeth? Now let's ask the bigger question. Can crooked teeth be prevented in the first place? According to a growing body of research, yes. And the key might lie not in metal wires, but in childhood habits. Let's start with chewing. Chewing is a forgotten force of facial development. When a baby or toddler eats soft, pureed food exclusively, their jaw doesn't get the stimulation it needs to grow wide and strong. But when children chew tough, fibrous foods, think raw vegetables, meats, nuts, their bones respond. The jaw expands to accommodate the pressure. The dental arch widens. There's more room for teeth to erupt properly. In fact, some orthodontists now recommend something called chewing training in young children, encouraging them to chew harder foods during key growth periods. The goal: to stimulate natural jaw development early and reduce the need for braces later. The mouth breathing problem. Surprisingly, chewing isn't the only environmental factor at play. Another major villain in the story of facial development is mouth breathing. Yes, really. Breathing through the mouth instead of the nose, especially during sleep, has been linked to changes in jaw shape, poor tongue posture, and even facial asymmetry. Here's how it works. When we breathe through our noses, the tongue rests against the roof of the mouth. This creates upward pressure, encouraging the palate, the upper jaw, to grow wide and flat. But when we breathe through our mouths, the tongue drops, no longer supporting the upper jaw. This allows the palate to collapse inward and upward, resulting in a narrower dental arch, less room for teeth, and a higher risk of crowding. Chronic mouth breathing is often caused by things like allergies, enlarged tonsils, or nasal obstructions. Left unaddressed in children, it can literally shape their faces, and not in a good way. The rise of myofunctional therapy. To tackle these subtle but powerful forces, a new branch of treatment is emerging: myofunctional therapy. This approach focuses on the muscles of the face, tongue, and jaw, training them to function properly through exercises and postural correction. Think of it like physical therapy, but for your mouth. Practitioners work with children and sometimes adults to teach correct tongue posture, encourage nasal breathing, improve chewing habits, and strengthen jaw muscles. The idea is to guide proper development, not force it through mechanical means. In some cases, myofunctional therapy has reduced or eliminated the need for braces entirely by ensuring that the mouth develops correctly from the start. It's not a silver bullet, but it's a promising tool in a more natural, preventative approach to oral health. What about adults? Can we still change our jaws? By now, you might be wondering, what about me? I'm not a growing child. My jaw is set. My teeth are already crowded. Is it too late? Not necessarily. While it's true that bones harden with age, the jaw remains surprisingly malleable throughout life. That's why adults can still get braces, expanders, or even surgical interventions with good results. More interestingly, there's a fringe but growing movement that suggests adults can remodel their jaws through posture, pressure, and consistent practice. The most well-known example: mewing. Popularized by Dr. John Mew and his son Dr. Mike Mew. Mewing is a controversial technique involving proper tongue posture, nasal breathing, and light facial exercises. Its claims are bold, that consistent practice over months or years can reshape facial structure, widen the jaw, and improve alignment. The scientific jury is still out, and many dentists remain skeptical. But anecdotal reports and before-after photos have sparked a huge online following and serious curiosity. Whether it's pseudoscience or cutting-edge discovery remains to be seen. Rethinking wisdom teeth. Let's return to one last player in this story, wisdom teeth. For decades, dentists have recommended routine removal of these molars, especially in teens and young adults. The reasoning is simple. If there's no space, they'll cause problems. But not everyone agrees. Some experts argue that many wisdom teeth could safely remain in place if jaws were wider. Others suggest that removing them preemptively, without symptoms, may be unnecessary or even harmful. The conversation is shifting. A growing number of dentists now evaluate on a case-by-case basis, watching to see if the teeth are impacted or misaligned before recommending surgery. And some believe that better childhood habits could create enough space for wisdom teeth to erupt naturally. It's yet another reason why jaw development early in life may hold the key to healthier mouths down the line. The bigger picture, health beyond the teeth. Here's the fascinating part. Crooked teeth may just be the most visible sign of a larger issue. Narrow jaws, recessed chins, facial asymmetry, mouth breathing, sleep apnea, these aren't just cosmetic concerns. They're linked to deeper problems: poor sleep, breathing difficulties, speech disorders, TMJ pain, even behavioral issues in kids. Orthodontics may fix the smile, but the roots run deeper. The structure of your face and how it developed can shape your overall health, which is why a growing number of doctors, dentists, and researchers are calling for a new approach. One that treats the mouth as part of the body, not a separate system. One that emphasizes prevention over correction. And one that sees crooked teeth not as a defect, but as a clue. What can you do? If you're a parent, here's what the science suggests. Encourage tough foods early. Think carrots, apples, meats, crusty bread, not just soft, mashed meals. Promote nasal breathing. Check for signs of mouth breathing in sleep. Teach proper tongue posture. Tongue to the roof of the mouth, lips sealed, breathing through the nose. Limit pacifier use after infancy. Prolonged use can affect jaw development. Get regular checkups with pediatric dentists and orthodontists who focus on growth guidance, not just braces. And if you're an adult, it's never too late to improve your breathing habits, practice better posture, explore orthodontic options if needed. Focus on long-term oral health, not just cosmetic fixes. You might not reverse evolution, but you can certainly stop it from doing more damage. Closing thoughts. What your mouth tells you. Here's what's wild. Your mouth is a fossil. It carries the story of your ancestors, your habits, and your environment. Crooked teeth aren't random. They're a result of modern life, of softness, convenience, and disuse. But they also remind us that biology is not destiny. What we eat, how we breathe, how we raise our children, all of it matters. The face of the future isn't set in stone. It's still growing, and with awareness, science, and a little bit of chewing, maybe we can shape it better. Thanks for watching BrightBoundX. If you learned something new today, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories that make you look at the world and yourself differently. Until next time, keep asking, keep wondering, and maybe try chewing a little harder. Welcome to BrightBoundX. We question what you thought you knew. Today, we're cracking open one of the most misunderstood topics in nutrition: cholesterol. Why did eggs get demonized? Why does bad cholesterol even exist? And is your heart health really all about what's on your plate? Let's find out. Chapter 1. The Egg Scare That Changed the World. Let's rewind to the year 1968. America was racing to the moon, flower power was in full bloom, and a breakfast staple was suddenly turned into public enemy number one. That year, the American Heart Association issued a powerful warning. Don't eat more than 3 eggs a week. Why? Because egg yolks were loaded with cholesterol, and cholesterol, we were told, clogged arteries and killed people. From diners to family kitchens, scrambled eggs were quietly replaced with dry toast and margarine. But few people stopped to ask, is cholesterol really that simple? Spoiler alert, it's not. Chapter 2. What actually happens when you eat fat? Here's where the real science kicks in. Every time you eat a meal, especially one rich in fat, your body goes to work like a microscopic logistics company. Fats don't just float around randomly. Your small intestine breaks them down into tiny droplets, and those droplets get picked up and packaged in the liver, like Amazon boxes headed for delivery. But what's the delivery truck? It's something called a lipoprotein, a microscopic bubble made of fat and protein, carrying cargo through your bloodstream. There are different types of these bubbles. VLDL, very low density lipoprotein, mostly fat. It drops off triglycerides and cholesterol to your muscles and fat cells. LDL, low density lipoprotein, the infamous bad cholesterol. Why bad? Because it likes to stick around. Here's where things go wrong. LDL sometimes crashes into the walls of your arteries and stays there. Like graffiti on a wall, it builds up. The body tries to clean it up with immune cells called macrophages, but when they gobble up too much LDL, they turn into tiny fat-filled zombies, dead, dysfunctional, and dangerous. These zombie cells pile up, creating a hardened patch called plaque. Over time, this narrows the arteries and can eventually block blood flow or rupture, leading to heart attacks or strokes. Chapter 3. Enter the hero, HDL. If LDL is the messy roommate, HDL, high-density lipoprotein, is the responsible one who cleans up after it. HDL's job is to collect stray cholesterol, including the stuff LDL left behind, and bring it back to the liver for recycling or disposal. It's anti-inflammatory, anti-clogging, and pro-survival. That's why doctors call it good cholesterol. When you get a blood test, it's not just checking how much cholesterol you have. It's checking the balance, how much LDL versus HDL, and how your body handles fats in general. The twist: cholesterol itself isn't bad. In fact, you can't live without it. Every cell in your body needs cholesterol to build its outer wall. Your hormones depend on it. Even your brain is full of it. The problem is when the system falls out of balance, and that's where lifestyle and genetics collide. Chapter 4. Is it in your DNA? Let's talk genes. Some people, no matter what they eat, just have higher LDL levels. This might be due to a condition called familial hypercholesterolemia, a genetic disorder that makes it harder for the body to remove LDL from the blood. Think of it like faulty garbage disposal. Things pile up even if you don't put in that much trash. In these cases, diet helps, but it's not enough. That's why medications like statins are life-saving. They help reduce how much cholesterol the liver produces or improve how efficiently your body clears it. But for most people, it's not just about DNA. It's about daily choices. Chapter 5. The truth about eggs. Let's revisit those poor, misunderstood eggs. Yes, egg yolks contain cholesterol. But here's the surprise. The cholesterol you eat doesn't directly become the cholesterol in your blood. Your body actually manufactures most of its cholesterol internally, based on the types of fat you eat. So it's not just how much cholesterol in your food that matters, it's what kind of fat comes with it. Here's the breakdown. Saturated fats found in red meat, butter, palm oil, increase LDL production in your liver. Trans fats found in processed snacks and margarine. The real villains: they not only raise LDL, they lower HDL. Unsaturated fats found in olive oil, nuts, fish, improve your cholesterol balance and fight inflammation. And eggs, they're not high in saturated fat. In fact, they have plenty of healthy unsaturated fats, plus vitamins like D, B12, and choline, which supports brain health. The modern verdict: one egg a day is just fine. For most people, it's even good for you. Chapter 6. What matters even more than fat? Your cholesterol levels don't just depend on the fats you eat. They depend on what comes along with them. Eating an egg with bacon and white toast, not ideal. Eating an egg with vegetables and whole grains, now you're helping your body. Here's why. Fiber, especially from fruits, veggies, and oats, binds to cholesterol in your digestive tract and helps flush it out. Antioxidants in colorful plants protect your blood vessels from damage. Whole grains stabilize blood sugar and reduce overall fat absorption. So, when you're thinking, is this food good or bad for my heart, zoom out. It's not just about one food. It's about the full picture: what's on your plate, how active you are, and how your body responds. Chapter 7. Move it or lose it. Here's the part most people don't realize. Your exercise habits can be just as important as your diet. Strength training and cardio both help reduce LDL and increase HDL. Why? Because physical activity uses fat for fuel and triggers enzymes that improve fat metabolism. Even if your diet isn't perfect, being active helps your body process cholesterol more efficiently. On the flip side, smoking increases LDL, lowers HDL, and damages blood vessel walls. Stress, poor sleep, and alcohol can also worsen your cholesterol profile. Chapter 8. The bigger picture. The point is not to obsess over every number or demonize every food. Yes, cholesterol matters, but your body is a complex system. not a math equation. What really matters is balance. Between LDL and HDL, between rest and activity, between healthy fats and processed ones, between what's on your plate and what's in your life. Eggs were never the villain. The real story is deeper, richer, and thankfully more hopeful. Coming up in part 2. In part 2, we'll go deeper into modern cholesterol treatments, how to read a lipid panel like a doctor, and how small daily changes can transform your long-term heart health. If you've ever wondered whether your diet is secretly sabotaging your arteries or if you're doing everything right but still seeing bad numbers, don't miss what's next. Chapter 1. What your blood test really says about you. Ever had a lipid panel done and stared at those numbers like they were alien math? Let's break it down. When your doctor orders a cholesterol test, you'll usually get 4 key values. Total cholesterol, the sum of all cholesterol in your blood. It's helpful, but not the whole story. LDL, low-density lipoprotein, the bad cholesterol. High levels equals higher heart risk. HDL, high-density lipoprotein, the good cholesterol. Higher is better. Triglycerides, another type of fat in your blood. High levels can be just as dangerous as high LDL. Your risk depends not only on individual numbers but also on their ratios. For example, a person with slightly high total cholesterol but very high HDL might actually have a lower risk than someone with normal total cholesterol but low HDL. Here's a visual metaphor. Think of your bloodstream as a highway. LDL is the dump truck spilling debris onto the road. HDL is the cleanup crew. Triglycerides are the potholes. The more dump trucks, the worse the traffic. The more cleanup crews, the better. The more potholes, well, you get the idea.